Here is a truly lovely young lady you all know. Internationally known actress and model. And Brooks has just finished starring in a movie called Sahara, which will be released, I believe, in December. Would you welcome Miss Brooke Shields? It's good to see you again.
Oh, it's great to be back.
Yeah. You were going to bring an animal with you tonight because you're working with the San Diego Zoo. It was a lemur.
Yes,
right?
It was a lemur.
And something happened.
Well, actually, it was, he's a one-armed lemur. He only has one arm, and his name is Timmy. And he's very sweet, but there was sort of a mix-up in communication, and it was hard to bring him here from San Diego on such quick notice.
Yeah. Why did you decide to do this? I read something about it in the paper the other day. You had an option, I guess?
Well, actually, in my school, the seniors are given 1 month off to go on an independent study.
Right.
And some
what were
of
your
my
choices?
Well, no, you get to pick a choice. You propose it to the administration, and if they accept it, you can go. Some of my friends are taking dance classes.
Yeah.
Some are learning to play instruments. Some are traveling. And whatever they do, they have to present something to the administration and to the school when they get back. So I said that I had the opportunity to work in the San Diego Zoo as a student intern, and they accepted it, and so did the zoo, and I was very lucky.
I think that's great. You obviously get along well with animals. Have you had pets and you like this?
Yes, I do have many pets. I think, as I'd said before, I'm not scared of them, and I think they feel comfortable. And I mean, the animals are wild, but I've learned to handle them.
Yeah. When you say wild, what are you talking about? What animals do you get involved with?
Well, I've been working with koalas. I've been working with the primates, which the lemurs and langurs and, and chimps.
Now, they cry, don't they?
They do. Yes, well, I was going to say that. We have a pygmy monkey in our nursery, and today it was hungry and it didn't eat its lunch. So then by the time dinner time came, it was starving, and it started to cry, and I saw little tears. So
there was a little tear.
You can forget about your dog and your pig and your...
And I stepped on a real rabbit's foot once, and I think it cried.
Yes. Yeah, well, they whimper. Maybe they don't have tears, but you actually saw...
I saw little tears in this little baby.
Yeah, well, that takes care of bringing the pig and the dog out, I guess.
Said. There goes the...
Thought we had something there. I've had a lot of animals on the show over the years, and I've had some good luck with some of them and bad luck with others.
Yes. I think... Actually, what you have to do, yes, after working with so many animals in the zoo, I think you have to be positive. You have to be assertive, and you have to let them know that you are in control, and yet at the same time respect them. I think they see you and they sort of say, hey, you know, this guy's going to be fun. Let's play a joke on him, or let's get control. And a lot of the time they might do that, like that little one that decided
the marmoset just climbed up on top of my head and marked his territory.
Yes. That's what they do.
I'll probably run into him again sometime because apparently it lasts
I've been
forever.
talking to him about you.
What do you mean being controlled? Is it a tone of voice?
Well, I think it's just a feeling of if they can see that you're not scared of them and that you will have certain control over them, and yet, as I say, respect them.
Yeah.
And just don't let them get into control.
Okay, I'll remember that next time I have something on. What are you required to do now at the zoo? I mean, you have a regular routine? You have to feed the animals?
Well, that's what I do. It's the feeding and the caring of the animals. I'm there at about 6, and sometimes if I'm working in the nursery, it's 5:30. And you have to feed them, and there's a lot of food preparation and a lot of cleaning.
Yes.
You think that it's not all handling. You spend most of the morning cleaning their cages and taking care of them. And many of the animals you cannot handle. Most of the animals in the nursery you can't.
Is this something you might, later on in your career, might like to do, work with animals?
I think so. I think I'm happy with what I'm doing now, but I think after school, or maybe even when I retire, I'd like to work with animals.
You're not going to retire right away, are you?
No.
Are there any animals you really get uptight about? Some people don't like snakes, for example. Just the idea of a reptile just turns them off.
No, I don't. Most of the animals I get along with, there are the birds. I like birds, but they're sort of frustrating because you can't really handle.
Well, their brain is just so small.
You can't really handle the birds. I mean,
it is frustrating. They smell good and they're soft, but they won't come or do anything.
Right.
They just...
Well, no,
they're
you
too
do
independent.
But they cry, too, if you step on them.
I didn't know that.
No, I mean, as I said, most of the animals, if you can handle them, it's fun, it's enjoying, it's rewarding. But the birds, they flutter around, and you can't.
Good.
Really...
I hope you have a good time with that. Sounds like
Thank
a
you.
nice way to spend some time. Now you're going to go to Princeton.
Yes.
This fall.
This fall.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's great. You looking forward to it?
Very much so.
Are you going to be able to have a social life that's not in the public eye every time you go somewhere, or?
Well, they're making a bigger Volkswagen now. I just thought I'd tell you. I was watching your show the other night, and you said that they're going to have trouble with my mom and I in the back of a Volkswagen.
Oh, yeah, I
Got
did
this
say
new model
say
that's
something
real
like
big.
that. Yeah, I did say something about dating you would be very tough with Mom in the back. Well, you know, there's been a lot of stuff in the press. Now, you're going to be 18 soon, right?
Yes.
And some writers have said that what privilege do you have at 18 that you're looking forward to?
Well, I think, actually, they've moved the drinking age to 21 now.
You
so
probably don't
now
drink
I don't
anyway.
drink anyway. There aren't that many privileges. I mean, most kids can drive when they're 16 and 17.
Right.
And most of you can't really do a lot until you're 21.
Yeah.
So I have a couple more good years left.
Yeah. Now, about your mom.
About my mom.
There have been some, I guess, critics who say that when you got be a certain age that you, because your mother is very close with you, you work closely together in your career, and I know you're friends, but you get the intimation that you like to break away and be a little more independent. Is that?
I think that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I know that even with all my friends, it's going to be hard to leave your home and your family. My mother's my best friend, and she always will be. And I think that going to school is just another step in my growing period.
Right.
I mean, she's also my manager, so I look at, when we talk about business, there's that end too.
Yeah.
But she'll.
That's a nice relationship to have.
I'm lucky. I mean, I think I've been very lucky.
Does he not?
Billions and billions of miles. For that.
Here's Johnny. Thank you. That's very nice. Thank you very much. I don't believe it. You see what
You know, you're so young to be experienced. Woo! This makes up for a laugh. We had a rough audience last night.
Oh, yeah.
I had a heckler in the third row on steroids. It's little Robin Redbreast. You like my little Buster Brown shoes?
Hush puppies.
What?
Those are hush puppies.
Are they? What was the Buster Brown's dog's name? Wasn't it my dog?
Tug.
Yeah.
I see my dog Doug.
Why am I acting like a 12-year-old child? Because I am a 12-year-old child. Inside this body is a 12-year-old child.
Yes.
Well, that's too young. Anyway, last night, you sound in a good mood. We had I hate to pick on audiences that have been here, because they go home and they see the show. But they're gone now. It was kind of a lowbrow group.
Yeah.
You know? It was kind of group that would go to a cockfight and stand in the loser's corner with a shake and bake bag. Give you an idea? I know a good many of you are out here in Southern California on vacation, wherever you are, and occasionally we give you a tip. We want you to have fun here. It's a lot of fun out in Southern California, lots of things to do, but occasionally we give you a tip so you don't get ripped off. For example, if you're walking along Hollywood Boulevard and you see a sign that says, "Doing what we do best," it's not an airline. How you feeling today?
Great.
Ed woke up today with a Manischewitz hangover. Celebrating the Jewish New Year. Ed will celebrate anything. Tomorrow he's selling the Hare Krishna New Year, isn't it?
Yes.
A Volkswagen will drive by. Ed will say, "There's a Volkswagen." Interesting story in the paper today about President Reagan. Now, I'm not going to make jokes, so don't send me letters about I'm picking on President, because there was a picture in the paper today. He's wearing a small, now tiny hearing aid. Did you notice that?
No.
In public, because apparently, like a lot of people, as you get older, he's had a small hearing loss. And so he was wearing the hearing aid for the first time today. And a reporter stopped him and said, what kind is it? And Reagan says, it's 3:45. Actually, Reagan's a hearing problem. That's the way we got our present Interior Secretary. Did you know that? No. Somebody asked Reagan who he wanted for the job, and he said, what? So, they didn't know. Actually, according to the papers, and Freddie, you would know this, the president, when he was an actor, apparently what has caused the slight loss of hearing is that he was doing a movie for Warner Brothers. And somebody shot off a gun close to him, and that damaged the nerves or something like that. And he's very lucky at that, because luckily, Bonzo stuck a banana in the other ear. But how is Bonzo is...
Bonzo is no longer with us.
Yeah, that's right. Bonzo would be very old, wouldn't he, if he had lived?
Yes, he would have been.
Yeah.
But he took care of that. He took care of that.
Bonzo's gone. Well, let's see what else is in the paper today. The rumors keep persisting that Lady Diana, right? Have you heard these? Mm-hmm. Is pregnant.
Yep.
And then they're denied, yeah. Now, little Prince William is doing fine. He's completely throne trained already. No, that rumor started a few weeks ago. And people love that. They love to God. And they said, Lady Di pregnant. Then it was rumored. Then it was denied. But the rumor is on again, because last night, I understand the royal family for dinner had rabbit stew. So it's possible.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Which of the jokes are you booing? That one or the ones on... We have some more bad news for Californians. Our weather out here. Apparently, there's a warm mass of ocean that starts around, what, Portugal or Peru? Around Peru, I believe, called El Nino. The bad child. Yeah. And it's causing all these freaky weather patterns. And now, apparently it's been reported up in as far north as Mendocino County. They're spotting piranha fish. Yeah. Now, that's all we need down here in Southern California. Are 16-foot man-eating waves. You try them out. See, I can't go on the road with this material, unfortunately. I can't sneak up to Barstow in the morning and try these and come here. This is it. We have good news for NBC, NBC Network. Yep. It was first in the television ratings last week. Mainly because the last 3 episodes of The Godfather got the big ratings. I think NBC made Mr. Nielsen an offer they couldn't refuse. I think he woke up with the head of Mr. Ed in bed with him one night. For those of you who missed The Godfather, it's the story of a poor Italian immigrant boy who comes to America, the land of freedom and opportunity, and works his way up to become Marlon Brando. Now, here's some news that's actually supposed to happen. How many of you subscribe to cable television? Have some kind of cable? It was in New York Magazine this week. Apparently, in the United States, it's been quite common in Europe and those countries, especially in France. The first nude commercial is going to be on cable TV. It's for a company, apparently, that makes a silk brassiere. And the model is nude. Now, that could start a whole new trend in commercials. They have one coming, I understand, which Robert Young really surprises his neighbors. Hey, how's my favorite couple doing? I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm not a prude or anything, but I'm not sure I'm ready for Mrs. Olson doing full frontal nudity. No, I don't think so. One interesting item in the paper yesterday, the White House announced a new program to eliminate illiteracy among adult Americans. You know, there is quite an amount of adult illiteracy in this country, and unfortunately the government decided they got off to a slow start because they notified the people they're trying to help by mail. That takes just a little while, and I guess that's long enough. We got a good show tonight. Later on, Tom Snyder will be out here and tell us that President Reagan has just appointed his finger ambassador to Moscow. Yeah, okay. Mr. Bill Cosby is here tonight. Stay where you are. Thank you very much. Whoopee! Thank you.
Boy, there's no doubt this crowd is wired, and no better group to greet our first guest, the famous visitor from the East. That's right. The all-knowing, all-seeing, all-telling, all-omniscient, famous seer, sage, soothsayer, and former barber to Mr. T, Karnak, the Magnificent. Are you all right, oh great seer?
No.
Chair seems to be very low. Did you shrink since you were here last? Maybe in your mystical way you could raise the chair. Welcome, welcome, 1,000 welcomes upon your person. I hold in my hand the envelopes. A child of 4 can plainly see these envelopes are hermetically sealed. They've been kept in a mayonnaise jar in Funkenwagel's port since noon today. No one knows the contents of these envelopes but you. In your divine and borderline mystical way, will ascertain the answers having never heard the question. Here is envelope 1.
May we have silence, please?
A frequent pastime when Karnak is here.
Karnak will be here alone next time.
Ultra silence.
The answer to this question, which I have not seen.
Yep. Hermetically sealed.
I will divine the answer.
Funkenwagel's. Noon today.
I think we have it. Heave ho, heave ho, heave ho.
Heave ho, heave ho, heave ho.
Describe the sound made by a nauseous Santa Claus.
Very good. Careful.
Twist and shout.
Twist and shout.
Describe a lady contortionist on her wedding night. OPEC.
OPEC.
What does an Irish chicken do? Excuse me. Minute Maid.
Minute Maid.
We got it. What do you call the woman who makes the beds in an adult motel? Karnak, being more dramatic.
Yes.
The entire population of China. Who has seen less rice than Elizabeth Taylor? Floodlight. What kind of beer did Noah drink on the ark? Wham, bam, blam, blam. Describe the sound made when the Godfather catches his wife with another man. Holy smoke.
Holy smoke.
What do you get when you light up a filter-tip saint?
Oh. Oh. Oh.
You're right. Steroids. What can you get from sitting on a stereo?
I hold in my hand the last envelope.
May your youngest son become a congressional page. Uniroyal, Tuck, and Andre Gromyko. Name a tire, a fryer, and a liar.
We'll be right back with more of The Tonight Show right after these words.
You have something here.
I have a piece of new business.
Yes.
The Tonight Show would like to welcome a new affiliate
Oh, really?
in Sioux Falls, rather, South
South
Dakota.
Sioux-
Not South Falls, Sioux Falls.
Sioux,
South
what's happening to you?
Sioux Falls. It's like an Indian called it.
Yeah.
Sioux Falls. Sioux Falls.
That's what you
South-
call pigs, you know
That's
that?
right. You
Suey.
do that.
Suey. Suey.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
All
Excuse
right.
me, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
All right, that's the same call. Is that the same call down at the beach? All right, here we go. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. KDLT TV. Welcome.
The new affiliate.
Brand new.
Oh,
Welcome
good.
to the
Well,
NBC
welcome.
family. Nice to have you aboard.
Hear about that? You're right. Sioux Falls, South Dakota. It's pretty country up there. You've never been in Sioux Falls, have you?
I have not, no.
You haven't been in the Dakotas?
No.
You've never been in Nebraska, have you?
Oh,
I bet you've never
certainly.
been to Iowa.
I've been to Iowa. I was in Iowa. We went to Iowa together at the state fair.
Who is that masked man back of the...
Who is it?
Hey! There's a... Well,
Yeah.
yeah, probably filming another commercial. Anyway, Bill Cosby took off time from making commercials to join us tonight. He opens tomorrow night at Harrah's, right, in Lake Tahoe? Right. With George Kirby. Right. Here he is, Bill Cosby.
Thank you. Hey, Sioux Falls, Sioux, and you got to laugh and want to do 20 minutes on Sioux. Boy, oh boy, it's a long way from WCAU. Ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at the father of a daughter who is in college. Now, I know that doesn't mean anything to those of you who are not going to college and don't want to go to college and look at your parents weird when they said, we want you to go to college. Well, it doesn't mean anything to me, but I want you to know that it's been a long, hard fight to take this ignorant child and build her brain back to where it faced forward. I speak for all of the parents of America who have a child in college now. We say, hey, stay. I don't know, my wife, God love her, the woman just stood there and tears shot out of her face. And we looked at our child's dorm, which, how do they get the rats out of there? You know, you walk in and you see a college dorm, and it looks like there should be rats. And there should be roaches, and there should be an odor, but they've cleaned it all up somehow. And then you sneak back without telling your child, and then they're there. But we did go back, and we saw that her wall was not. She's got pictures with two sides. She got one side of the pictures that have like flowers and wonderful people, you know. And, you know, a dog with mayonnaise on his face, you know. And then we left, and we drove about 5 miles, and I said to my wife, I've got to go back. I've got to go back and tell her something. And we ran back, and she had turned it over, and there was a guy with mayonnaise on his body. And looking like, but I really did. I had a terrible time. My wife and I kept going back and forth, and walking into the room and saying, you know, like you leave your kids, you say, now look, this is it now. This is a real ball game. You want to go for it? For the potential, right, Dad? You going, right? There you go. And you close the door, and you go 5 miles and say, wait, I got to really tell her this time. You go back, go on the thing, and she got the picture of the naked guy. And I said to myself, I don't know what I have. I don't know what I've done, but I just know that I hope we've done right. And my wife and I cried. And as parents, you don't know what you have. You don't know what you've given birth to. Let me give you an example. George Washington's father. People don't talk about him. Okay? George Washington became, as we all know, whatever he became. But school teachers tell you about George Washington chopped down his father's cherry tree. The tree belonged to his father. George was a little boy, cut the tree down for no reason. So his father came home, saw his tree cut down. Said, George, who did this? George said, Father, I cannot tell a lie, for it was I. So his father said, okay, since you're honest, I won't punish you. Well, that's the story they tell. But I've been a father for